Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would film a trip report slash story time. This is something that happened about, I think it was a year ago. It was very scary and traumatic at the time, but now when I look back at it, I can kind of laugh about it, and it's something to just kind of reminisce about. So this is a story about the time I did Salvia. So, it was mainly out of curiosity. So what planted the idea in my head was my sister telling me about an experience that she had. I think she and her friends were hanging out in the park, and my sister is kind of a stoner, but this was before she knew her strands of weed. So I think somebody had told her, oh, would you like some salvia? And she thought, oh yeah, I know sativa. She mixed salvia and sativa, and I can see the two, they sound pretty similar. But as you can imagine, that must have been a really awful surprise because they are nothing alike, just so you know. So for those of you who don't know what salvia is, it's basically a plant that I believe grows in Mexico, and it's actually legal in some states. For example, here in New York, it's legal. You can find it in some head shops. She was basically telling me her experience, and I thought, dude, that's so cool. And I imagined that I would hallucinate and trip balls and see like flying cows, but it was nothing like that, let me tell you. So I text my best friend, and he's totally down for the ideas, but the first thing I have to do is find it. And I actually looked in every head shop. I looked in so many places for it, but I absolutely could not find it. And I think it's when you have to really just go out of your way to find drugs, it's just not worth it. But so I gave up eventually, and I was like, oh damn. But I think it was like 2 days later, I find myself in a head shop, not because I'm even looking for it, and I see the words salvia on the glass counter, and I'm just like, damn, well, I guess salvia found me. It basically comes in like a little purple container, and you can get them with different strength levels. I don't exactly remember what the strength of this one was, but it looks like ground up leaves. It doesn't smell anything like weed. It smells a little bit like tea in a way. And I also just want to mention that before going into this, I did so much research, and I read that it's definitely not a recreational drug. It's not something you smoke like it's weed. It's not addictive, definitely not addictive. So of course the first thing I do is I text my friend, and he's just stoked. He's like, wow, I can't believe you found it. So I was like, yeah. So finally I go to his house. It's me, him, and his ex. I'm gonna call him Larry. Basically, the trip is very short lasting. It lasts for about 1 to 2 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, but it's super intense, like super intense. So we decided we would do it one at a time. So Larry went first, while me and my best friend Jonathan we were watching. But Jonathan was basically in charge of the dosages and stuff, because if you are going to be doing those types of things, he is the person to do it with. He always knows what to do and knows how to dose it properly, and he makes the perfect trip sitter, and he always makes sure that everyone doesn't die or hurt themselves, that we all do it correctly. So we watch Larry. So Larry looks very messed up. He's giggling, he's rolling around, his eyes are super squinty, and he's just kind of like Jonathan and I are super curious. We're like, yo, how was it? What was your experience like? He was just like, damn, I don't even know. You guys were like, he said something about McDonald's. That's all I remember him saying. It looked like that. We were in some McDonald's dimension or something. So I expected to have like really crazy visuals, and I had not tried any psychedelics before this other than Hawaiian rosewood seeds. I am next, and I am so nervous because I know myself and I can't even handle weed. I don't smoke weed because I get hella paranoid. So I don't know why I thought I would be able to handle this. So basically I take a little toke of it, and I'm just sitting on his bed with my legs crossed, and it felt a little bit like I was levitating a little bit. I did not have any visuals, And what was really weird about it was I forgot where I was. I knew where I was, but I forgot what I had smoked. I thought that I was tripping on acid. I just remember being really excited because I thought that I was tripping with John. I thought that I had taken acid, so I remember I was just like, wee, I'm tripping. And there was this voice in my head telling me that I would be okay if I had a little bit more, because it felt like I was about to blast off somewhere, but didn't blast off. By the way, it's not DMT, guys. So I take one extra toke of that stuff, and I feel like that's everybody's mistake. They feel like, I've watched so many trip reports or story times about this, and everybody seems to have like a really hallucinogenic, visually type of experience, but I'm gonna be 100% honest. I did not have any visuals, but I did hallucinate, but it wasn't in a pleasant way. So after I took that second giant toke of that stuff, I just remember I was facing towards the wall, and I just felt an overwhelming feeling of confusion. All I knew was that that was John, this is his room. That's all I knew. I forgot what I had smoked. It felt like it took me 10 minutes to turn around, so it felt like this, like it felt like it took me way too long to turn around. And I just remember I thought that the world was ending. I thought that I was gonna die. What was also super terrifying was that I felt as though I had lost control of all my thoughts. So my thoughts would bounce from a negative thought to a positive thought to a negative thought to a positive thought, just like, and for some reason I thought that, one, the world was ending, and two, that whatever my last thought was, whether it be a negative thought or a positive thought, would be the place I ended up when I died. I don't even know, it did not make sense. But I just remember I let out a huge death scream. What's actually really weird is I don't remember screaming that loud. I just remember I was terrified and I was jumping on the bed, like screaming my eyes out. And what was really awful about this experience is that my friend has neighbors, and I screamed very loud apparently, so I just remember he had to cover my mouth like this, and I was just like, ah, like trying to escape like I was some crazy person. By the way, guys, I feel like a lot of people might exaggerate trip reports. This experience is not exaggerated. My reaction was that intense, and it was that traumatic. Luckily, it's a short trip, so I can feel myself like coming back into reality. My heart is like starting to slow down, and I just feel like so relieved, and I'm like, oh my god, is everything okay? Like everything's good? It was just like, I'm not doing that again. Never again. I am so traumatized from that experience. And then it was John's turn. Everybody else seemed to be fine with it. I feel like with every story time I've watched about Salvia, everybody has had a really terrifying experience, but my friend John actually liked it. So did my other friend Angelina. They both giggled and they liked their experience. I just remember John was moving like this. He was like, oh my god, I'm going sideways. So I honestly, as fucked up and sick as this sounds, I just liked watching other people's reaction to it because I knew that they were fine. So yeah, I did not see any colors, I didn't see any flying cows. I did hallucinate very intensely, but it's in a very weird, scary, unpleasant way. Like, it just feels, I feel like craziness, confusion, and I will most definitely never be doing that again. But I don't regret the experience. At least I've tried it. I know how the experience was. During the time, it was pretty traumatic, but now that I look back on it, I can kind of laugh about it. But that was my story time about the time I did Salvia. If you liked this video, let me know in the comments and give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. I hope that everyone's having a great day today. Bye!